Welcome to Hustle and Pro. I'm your host, Kelly Walker, and today our guest is Ethan Lollar. Ethan is a football player, and we're going to talk about some of his other sports in a second. But I also want to tell you that we are recording from Countdown to Escape again today for this episode. And so shout out and thanks to the Countdown to Escape crew for letting us invade your lobby for a few minutes and record from here, right here in downtown Frisco, right off of Main Street. All right, so let's get into this episode. So we have Ethan Lollar. So and we're going to talk about your shirt and what your college sports situation is. But You just graduated, right, from Frisco ISD High School, Memorial High School.
Yes.
All right, did you go there all 4 years of school?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you're from Frisco.
Yeah, I've always lived in Frisco.
Okay, so you've always gone to Frisco schools.
Always.
So then go back a little bit and tell us, now I know you're a multi-sport athlete, and because I know you, we'll talk about that too, how I know you. But so you focused on football your senior year, but before that, what were you doing?
I was pretty much playing all the sports you could possibly be playing at a young age, from baseball to soccer to basketball, track and field, like just other random sports.
Yeah.
Too.
Did most of that start like in middle school when you were doing track and field? And
pretty much all the sports started for me in about first and second grade. So I started doing them all.
Did you get to play soccer, basketball, baseball into high school at all?
I stopped playing basketball after middle school, but I played soccer and baseball up till my 9th grade year.
Did your coaches encourage you to play more sports throughout, or did you make the decision to focus on just the one sport going into sophomore year?
I kind of made the decision myself to just focus on football after my freshman year, because playing multiple sports in high school is just too taxing on my body.
Yeah.
And I was missing out already so much on the football off season, from like the workouts to like a new installs, all that.
That's what I've noticed, is that it's football. Football is like your primary, and then you have a backup sport. You're basically pulling yourself out of off-season football workouts to do your other stuff. And so, I mean, does it end up probably hurting your football status because you're not in front of those coaches and you're not like with your team? Do you feel like it kind of like is like a a bad thing to, you know what I mean? Like, not a punishment, but like it's just a negative sort of.
I would say yes and no, because my freshman year, like when I was like doing off season for I was playing football, like baseball during the off season for football. I missed out on all the new team bonding, because all the freshmen were being now integrated to the official football team for high school. And so I went to the first spring practice. I felt like I was just out of sync with everyone.
Yeah.
I just wasn't there until like a few days later.
Yeah, I could see that. All right, so tell us your position and what you do for football then.
I play quarterback for Johns Hopkins University.
Yay, that's exciting. So that's brand new. We're recording this actually on June 1st. So a couple weeks ago, you graduated. Congrats.
Thank you.
And so you played quarterback for Memorial High School, and now you're playing for Johns Hopkins. So I definitely want to talk more about that and that school. Have you always been quarterback, or were you playing other positions?
I've always played running back and wide receiver all the way up till my freshman year. Then I transitioned into a quarterback.
Okay. Why?
I just had a knack for throwing the football, and the football coaches noticed that, and they switched my position to that, and ever since from there, just been going up.
So all through high school?
Yeah.
Okay. And so was it one of those things when like you were instantly good and you were like starting and it was this obvious thing that like that was your thing, or were you, did you ever struggle and have to like earn your spot?
So my freshman year was kind of a struggle, because I was still learning the position, and it was a lot to take in at the time. But then over the next few years, I slowly transitioned to being like really prolific and understanding everything.
That's great. Okay, when did the playing in college factor in to your life?
It was my junior year, because right after my junior year, that's when all the college coaches started contacting everyone, and you have to like start texting them through like Twitter and all that.
Yep. So your junior year?
Yeah, my junior year.
After your junior season?
After the junior season. That's when the process started. Okay.
So had you already had your eye on a school like Johns Hopkins before?
I had not at the time.
Because that is so of all the kids that I've talked to, or I'm sorry, I know you're not a kid, of all the student athletes that I've talked to, different colleges and everything, you don't hear that as often from around here. And so you have to wonder, like, what made you pick that school, or was that something in your family, or like, was it something that you already had your eye on? It's a very, it's known for, it's an academic school, but it's known for like being a research school and has like some really big time alums.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to you about some of them in a second. But so was that on your radar at all, or was it a football conversation that put it on your radar?
It was a football conversation that put on my radar. The offensive coordinator there, Coach David Josephson, he contacted me in January. He's like, "Hey, I just watched your film and I really love it. Can we go on a call?" And like ever since from there, I just started going up and up, and where I'm now playing for him.
So it sounds like a tough school, like school-wise.
Yes.
What kind of student were you in high school?
I was a straight A student in high school.
Okay. Were you like taking AP classes and already like a very hardworking student, and so college isn't going to be something that you worry about, or do you feel like this step is going to be a huge transition?
So I was already taking multiple AP classes, which kind of helped me put in the position to get into Johns Hopkins, because you need those AP classes just to get considered.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm prepared for college.
Good.
I feel like I'm ready for it.
Good.
And now let's take a quick break for a word from our sponsor.
I want to tell you guys about Beyond Studios. I'm going there for Pilates right now, and I love it, and I want you guys to try it out. You can actually try your first class for free when you use my code HUSTLEandPro. That's hustle ampersand pro, and you'll get your first class for free. So you can check it out at either their Beyond Studios location in West Frisco on 4th Army, or the Beyond 500, which is at Lebanon and Legacy, and that's more of a cardio workout. So head to thebeyondstudios.com to find out more.
And now let's get you back to this episode of Hustle and Pro.
Like, did you have early release or late arrival and things like that? Because I know a lot of Frisco schools students are able to not have to have like a full senior year. So did you get some breaks in your schedule this year?
I always had late arrival, so I would show up to school like 10:30. I get to sleep in and work out early in the morning.
But don't you have football first thing? No?
No, that's fourth period at 2:50 every day.
I know some stuff is in the morning, but okay. So that's nice.
Yeah, it was.
You got a nice break. That's probably going to change soon, right? What is your summer, or like when you start playing in college and when you take off, like what is that going to look like? Do you know?
Not exactly sure yet, but I just know the practices will be held in the mornings.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say, probably not like sleeping in time.
Yeah.
So where are you headed to?
This is in Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been there on campus yet?
Just 2 times, both on visits to the school.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
It was really nice.
That's a great area. I mean, it's obviously so different from being in Frisco, but I mean, I think that's going to be such a great experience. Okay, do you know any famous alum that went to Johns Hopkins?
I do not.
I wrote some down because I thought it was interesting. I always am curious what schools are known for and everything. So, former President Woodrow Wilson went there. Lots of Pulitzer Prize winners and even a member of Congress.
Wow.
Former president of the NAACP, Michael Bloomberg, and Wes Craven, who's a film person. Lots of different names, but I just thought that was an interesting mix of different names, lots of writers and journalists, and a lot of science, people famous for different science and like finding medical breakthroughs in something or inventing different things. So a lot of variety of different alums, but I thought that was cool. All right, do you know the conference that you guys play in?
The Centennial Conference.
Yes, Centennial Conference. I have to admit I'd never heard of that really before. But so does it say on who your
the Blue Jays
mascot is? The Blue Jays. All right. So one thing I found out is, yes, Centennial Conference is most of their sports, right? But do you know like what their main known for sport?
It's pretty much lacrosse. They play in the Big Ten.
Yes. They play in the Big Ten for lacrosse. So they started their lacrosse program in 1883.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And they've won, I think, 44 national championships in lacrosse.
Yeah, they're insane on lacrosse.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds like they're a lacrosse powerhouse. So have you ever played lacrosse?
I have not, but I kind of wish I did.
Of all those sports you mentioned, yeah. Because lacrosse is something that around here, I mean, if you were into it at your age, like somebody older than you probably would have had to pull you into it, you know? Like there's littler kids now that are getting into it as just a regular sport, but for you to have like, you know, been a high school player, somebody, or gone to a private school where they focus on it a lot, or somebody would have had to pull you in.
Yeah, I hadn't really heard of lacrosse until about my age right now.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have any friends that play here in town, or?
I had one, but he graduated last year.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he was playing lacrosse till last year too. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay, so speaking of lacrosse, random segue. So the what I know the most about lacrosse is from my friend Beth King, who you know because we all work together at Player to Player.
Yes.
So Beth King was my first ever podcast guest on this show, 150 something episodes ago. But yeah, so she's one of those people that like moves the sport to a specific city. Otherwise, it's just people around here. I'm from Texas, born and raised, and so I'm not going to naturally know the sport. All right, so let's talk about Player to Player a little bit. For those of you who don't know, you probably know if you watch this every episode because I've had Jennifer Wright on, the founder of Player to Player. But so she's my friend from Waco, and she started this business in Austin, or Lake Travis, Austin, 4.5 years ago. And it is high school athletes coaching younger athletes in a variety of different things. And so Ethan is one of our coaches. So what mostly are you coaching when you coach Player to Player lessons?
Pretty much just football.
Just football.
I've had a few baseball lessons, but just football.
Mostly football.
Yeah.
I think that's what people are finding you and knowing you and finding you, seeking you out on our site and booking you for lessons.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess just tell us, like, what is that experience like? First of all, do you like it?
Oh, I love it. It's awesome.
Okay, good. That would have been awkward if you would have been like, no, it's awful. It seems like you like it. You know, there's some of you guys that are just really good at connecting with the younger kid and making them feel comfortable, and meanwhile you're teaching them something that's really valuable to them and to their parents too. So there's kind of two sides, right? Like the skills you're learning, but then also just the social skills and like talking to someone and everything. So tell me, like, what are you getting out of it, or what do you think about it?
I just love connecting with the kids because they get really energetic so fast once they start getting to know me.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to see them just grow and learn and become good at what they want to be.
So when they first meet you, are they a little nervous and shy and quiet?
Yeah, pretty much. They're really timid.
And then how do you...
Like as the lesson goes on, they just start becoming more energetic when I start talking more.
Yeah. So you have to be the one that steps out there and like shows them, like, how do you make them comfortable?
I just start telling them like just jokes, make them laugh, and over time they start becoming more comfortable with me. Yeah,
that's good. And so then you're one of our coaches that gets rebooked by the same kids, right? So do you feel that like that's one of your strengths is getting a kid to feel comfortable with you, and then they obviously go tell their parent like, hey, I want to do that again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that's good. So you also did something else through Player to Player, which was help coach football middle school matchup.
Yes.
Tell me about that experience.
It was really fun. It was exciting. And it was a lot of fun though. Yeah.
So you had a bunch of like you had 7 or so 6th graders?
We had 8 6th graders from Fowler Middle School, and one of them was from Stafford.
Okay, yeah. You had like a mixed team of different schools. And it was like a day of fast and furious paced 2-hand touch 7v7 football. Do you have to, I'm guessing that the kids had to adapt to the rules and stuff. Did you have to kind of learn and adjust any of the skills you know of?
Not really, because I grew up playing a lot of 7v7, so I pretty much know like the ins and outs of it and how they make it successful for the kids.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
And make it really easy for them to understand.
That's good. Most of the teams are coached by parents who volunteer to do it. And so when a team doesn't have a parent that volunteers to do it, we were able to step in and say, hey, some of our football coaches can help you out. So it worked out really well, and I think it was really fun for those kids. And I'm glad it was fun for you too. All right, so tell me, besides football, which you focused on the last 3 years of high school, like what are the other things that make you you besides sports? Do you have other things, identity outside of your being an athlete?
I love hanging out with my friends and family, going fishing and hunting and like biking on the trails around here.
Yeah.
And just going on jogs.
Active and outdoors.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So when you get to Baltimore, have you been able to kind of check out that scene? Like, I don't know much about their weather and what, outdoor situation and like fishing or hiking or jogging. I mean, you can jog anywhere. But when you were on your visits, did you get a good vibe that like matches your personality?
Yeah, I feel like it does, because it's more like an outdoorsy city. Like you don't really, like I'm not bringing my car up there because you can't really drive there much. You can walk around, take the buses, bike, all that fun stuff.
That is fun. That's cool. It's different. Are you living in student housing as an athlete? I'm assuming. Yeah. Have you already gotten to know your roommate or know who it is? Or
I have not yet. We just now filled our applications for the housing. So I find out first week of July. Okay.
So then when do you get there for workouts?
Just the first week of August when we arrive.
Okay. It's not as early as I thought. Yeah. I know some student athletes, some different sports go early and have different, workouts and requirements earlier. What do you think you're going to miss the most about Frisco?
Just being with my family and friends here.
Yeah. Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have a younger sister and a younger brother.
Okay. And so what about ages are they?
My sister's going into her senior year for high school, and my brother's going into his freshman year of high school.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. I didn't realize that. So both at the same high school that you went to?
Yes.
Awesome. So they can follow in your footsteps. Are they athletes also?
My sister plays club soccer, and my brother, he's now starting to play football.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he want to be a quarterback?
No, he's gonna be like a defensive end.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I bet you help him. So that's why you're good as a player-to-player coach too, because you've always had younger kids around you, and you probably just naturally know like how to talk to them.
Yes.
And they don't like intimidate you or scare you, or you don't get worried or anything. Do you ever get nervous working with kids at player-to-player?
I do not.
Yeah.
I have fun with it.
Yeah, that's good. And I think that shows, because there are some coaches that are like, they'll tell me and Beth, like they're nervous about first lessons or something, or the age of the kid or something like that. And it's like they love you guys, right? So there's not much, wrong you can do. You just have to be, I feel like, confident to a certain degree and make sure that you're not, I don't know, I guess, intimidating them. It's hard because your size is bigger than them, right? But there's something about like just showing them that you're kind of just like them, like you understand them.
I think they look up to us because we're high school kids, and like they just like see that in their eyes, like, oh shoot, I want to be that one day.
Yeah, I do too. They admire you guys, and I mean, you probably don't. We all did it when we were little, and you probably don't remember. But any older kid is they just look cool, and they're just cool to be around, and so they feel that with you guys, with the player-to-player coaches. When you were growing up, like who were your favorite athletes that you like cheered on, and your teams that you were cheering for?
I always grew up as a diehard Cowboys fan, so Tony Romo is the person I always looked up to the most. Him and DeMarco Murray before he moved away.
Yeah, they always move away.
Yeah.
I know. I get sports sad whenever my favorites move on. But yeah, those are good guys to look up to. That's awesome, especially Romo, since you're a quarterback. So yeah. Do you listen to him when he's commentating NFL games?
Yeah, dude, it's really entertaining to watch him say, hey, they're about to run this play, and their receiver's gonna catch the ball on this side, and they run the play and it actually happens.
Yeah, it's pretty wild how you don't always see that on when they're playing on Sundays, but it's pretty wild seeing how much insight he has and how much he's right. Right? It's not like he's just guessing. A lot of them can just throw out guesses out there, but he's pretty accurate about what he's talking about. it kind of makes you go back and appreciate him even more. I mean, you were a fan, so you already liked him, but and then as an active quarterback, you probably learn a lot. Do you learn from him, you think?
Yeah, dude, I like watching his highlight tapes on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
He goes through progressions and plays, leading drives.
Okay, so we will wrap up. Thank you for listening to this episode of Hustle and Pro. Thanks to our guest, Ethan Lollar, for joining us, and for Countdown to Escape for letting us use their lobby today. So make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram at Hustle and Pro, and we'll see you next time.